So those of you who've been watching my channel for a while may have noticed or may have realised that I'm quite a big fan of the Arrowverse. I mean, the Arrow, the Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, even Supergirl. I tend to enjoy those shows. I mean, the only one that I maybe haven't watched that much of was Constantine. That admittedly was on NBC, but there's only one season of it, and you know what, I'll get to it at some point. However, while I did watch stuff like Arrow, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl, there was one DC show that I personally for a while did not watch. Not because I didn't want to, or because I thought it looked bad. I actually thought it looked pretty interesting. But the trouble was, it didn't have the same narrative type as the Arrowverse, and thus was a little difficult to follow. So I avoided it for a while. However, I now decided it's time to kind of hop back on the train and give it another chance. And that show is Gotham. As I said, Gotham didn't follow the same kind of story setup as the Arrowverse. So, such as with episodes like Arrow, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, with any of those shows, while it was handy to kind of watch all the other episodes, you get what they were talking about most of the time, it wasn't strictly necessary. You could just hop into any episode and have a good time. If you missed one episode, it might screw you over a little, but you'd still have a relatively good idea of what was going on. You could pick up fairly quickly. That was one thing I liked about it. The problem that Gotham had was that at the start I did think it looked very interesting. So I sat down one night when I was on Channel 4 and decided to give it a try. And for the first few episodes, yeah, it was fairly good. The only trouble was, then I missed a couple of episodes, and as I said, with each one you technically had to watch every episode from the beginning right to the end in order to be able to understand in future episodes what was going on. It relied very much on flowing narrative, which, yeah, the other shows did as well, but you could pick up on little things, whereas this one kind of fully relied on it. So after missing a couple of episodes, I fell behind, and eventually I let it go. But with the show having finished its third season now, and still going fairly strong, I thought, might be time to give it another try. And to be honest, it is a very good show. I mean, unlike the Arrowverse shows, which all kind of show the point of development of a classic hero, such as the Green Arrow, the Flash, Supergirl, or, say, the Atom, this one doesn't focus on the hero. And you know what? It still works. It's a very good show. I mean, it takes place kind of in the same universe as one of the best DC Comics characters, Batman. But Batman shows have been done before. I mean, there's the 60s Adam West Batman series, the classic 90s animated series cartoon, and a load of cartoons in between here and there. So Batman has had his fair share of TV series. But this one, it does something different. It tells a story not from Batman's perspective, not from Bruce Wayne's perspective, but from Jim Gordon's perspective. And you know what? It works. I mean, yeah, most of you by now are like, ugh, guys, going over this, we all know this by now. But you know what? I agree with you. It's a very good show. It's got a very good cast, such as, I'm going to list off some names here, and I'm almost certainly going to pronounce them wrong. It's got people like Ben McKenzie, Donald Logue, David Massouse, Robin Lord Taylor, Cameron Bickendova, and Corey Michael Smith, plus one actor who I have seen before and heard of before, John Pertwee's son, Sean Pertwee, who I happen to have seen before in Elementary, played Lestrade over there. And you know what? I can do with him as he's a good guy for Alfred Pennyworth. I mean, there are times when he does kind of get angry or annoyed at Bruce, where I think, really? I thought Alfred was more kind of the yes sir. But you know what? He does a good job. It's a very good show, and once you have the first series, which I have now, you can kind of take your time and run through episode to episode, and it's a very good show. I'm currently on episode 3 at the minute, so like with most of my shows, I'm going to take my time with this. I mean, when it was first airing, yeah, I didn't have quite a long time for it, but now I've got a bit more time for it. I'm going to give it its due. And you know what? I think it is a really good show, and I'm going to follow through with it. I mean, not every show has to follow the same pattern. I mean, the Arrowverse kind of set things going, but Gotham chose its own path. I mean, it's made by different people, and I still think it's a very good show. I mean, the only thing I might question slightly is the aging on some of the characters. For example, you got Cameron Bickendova in there as Catwoman, and she's a few years older than Bruce, but you know what? That's probably about right. The only one, and the Penguin, yeah, you always grant that the Penguin is possibly a bit older than Batman. Kind of, he's more pushing it. The one that I might kind of question slightly is Corey Michael Smith as the Riddler. I mean, he is a good Riddler. He does a good job. The only thing is, from what I've seen of kind of the Batman and the Riddler's fights in the past, I didn't always think there was a huge age difference. I mean, I didn't think there was much difference in between Bruce Wayne and Edward Nygma in terms of age, but in here it's kind of stretched out a bit. Like, Riddler is a young adult and Batman's still Bruce is still a child. So that might be my one kind of hitch in there. But, you know what, I still say the show is good. The show is very good. I'm going to continue to watch it, and as I say, it's not a Batman show. It's mainly focusing on Jim Gordon and focusing in the middle of a mob war. Or at least that's what it seems to be heading towards. It's a mob show that happens to involve characters from DC Comics. You know what? It looks to be really good. And you know what? Over the next few weeks, I'm going to give it a try. See ya.